Hello everybody, I'm here this afternoon. It's been ages since I've done a kind of hangout with Alan. Hi Alan.
Hi, Karen.
Hello my sweetie pie. Alan sent me a couple of links. We're going to talk about some of it. One of them was this woman here, hearing crystal clear. Now I'd love to play her whole hangout, but I don't know if I agree with absolutely everything she says, but this whole bit. So how are we going to do this? So when we get Lyrist, basically we're given a frequency. That's what she's saying, isn't it, Alan?
Yeah.
That
And how long have they been doing this to us? With frequencies?
I don't know. I haven't been... The last time I went to the hospital myself was when I had gallstones, and they took my gallbladder and 6 stones out of my body, and one of them was in my bile duct and had nearly killed me. So I kind of actually needed that removed, but I found the whole experience so horrible. I haven't been back to the doctors since. Because it was keyhole surgery, but they made loads of cuts on me, stuffed tubes in me. It was horrible. The whole thing was horrible. So I'm glad it's done, because I didn't get a choice. They said to me, if you don't have this operation, you could die next time. So it's your choice. And I'm like, because there's no choice, is there? I don't get a choice when you're told that next time it could be death, because I've been so ill.
And then you don't know if they're telling you the truth or not.
Well, they did show me the gallstones, but it was like having a baby. They brought them in and went, there's your gallstones. And I went, and then they were gone. And I said, I want them back, I want them. And they said, oh, he's gone. But the ones in the bile duct, the ones in the gallbladder were like a wall. And the other ones looked like a kettle gone wrong. You know, like they were from a kettle, but they were balls. They were stones.
Mm-hmm.
And you think, my body made stones. But the pain you get, because it's really painful having gallstones, is that your body's trying to get rid of these stones and it can't. So that's what creates the pain.
What are these stones made out of?
Well, like inside a kettle. They said to me, I mean, I don't know whether things have changed right now, but they said to me that it was the biggest thing that middle-aged people came in for, was to get gallstones removed. But you think that they would have stopped all this now, wouldn't you? You know, with they would have realised that it's sending people to hospital with the water.
And what's causing these gallstones?
Well, whatever they're putting in the water.
So you get it from drinking?
Yeah.
Huh.
Because basically, you know what happens? We have very, very, I don't know what you call in it. There's just always a sediment in the kettle.
Uh-huh. Lime.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. Yeah, we're full of lime then. And that's not good either, is it?
I don't know. Lime. I gotta keep cleaning out my water heater because it builds up a lime on the bottom and then destroys my lower heating element.
But anyway, that was not a nice experience for me, so I've not actually been back to the doctors, but we've talked about this before, that I just think hospitals are picking us from our blood types. And then when she said that, it made such sense.
Uh-huh.
Well, it did to you, didn't it?
What's that?
When she said about the frequencies that you're being injected with, that made such sense to me.
Yep.
Even if it's not quite right, it's something like that.
Well, I had first-hand experience. I was seeing it in my eyes, in my vision.
Right.
It made me partially blind.
When was this?
Like last week.
Oh.
And then it happened once before that, too. I was literally seeing the waves. Even when I closed my eyes.
The vibrations.
Yeah. And I can still, all the time, I get this ringing in my ears.
A lot of people say that they get ringing in their ears. Christian says that. But I get it. It's like something. It's like someone's trying to go into a radio. It's a bit like that, and then it's there for a couple of minutes, and then it goes. It doesn't happen all the time. It just happens.
Mine is all the time. It's like listening to crickets or grasshoppers. How they make that funny noise all the time outside.
Right. Sorry, just so that people understand, because obviously we're talking, and then there's this person. She's called Hearing Crystal Live. So I'll just show you over here that's her. There it is there. So look for her, Hearing Crystal Clear. What it is that she deals with blood, doesn't she, in her job? And that's why she says what she says. Well, you sent it to me, didn't you? So, you know that's what she said.
Yep. Yeah, I only watched her that one time. I haven't gotten back at her yet.
No, Naughty Alan's been banned from Facebook, haven't you, for a little bit, Alan?
Yeah, I couldn't I couldn't comment, I couldn't post. I couldn't tell Facebook what was on my mind.
Yeah, someone else has written something here, so we don't have to say anything. Just here, look at this one. We can come back then with, yeah, it's all to do with frequencies and vibrations, and that's what she's going on about. That's what is put inside you, is frequencies. It's like, wow. It's not a very nice frequency, though, is it? I actually thought that maybe what they were doing was they were actually giving everybody antidepressants. And then that, because they mean they've got no, you don't have any feelings then. And everybody's lacking feelings.
I think it gives you...
And that's why you need a booster, because it'll only last so many months, and then you need the booster.
I think it gives you, some people, it gives them suicidal tendencies and thoughts. Especially people on these certain medications.
What it is she's just put up a picture with the Anunnaki. She thinks everybody's the Anunnaki. I'm not sure if I quite agree with her on that one, but, you know, it's good just to go and listen to her point of view. So it's all they're the ones running us.
Well, she also showed, too, that the Anunnaki are just astronauts. Just like modern-day astronauts. How they carry that air conditioner bag, and that's what the Anunnaki is holding in their hand. I was always wondering what that bag is.
You mean the Egyptian thing? Like they have like a bag, don't they? That thing.
They do too. Because the Anunnaki, they're descripted with wings. I think that's because they fly. I mean, they had this technology right from the beginning.
Well, we do think that, don't we? Because, you know, like, it's the Tartarians that had telephones and televisions and stuff, and they had versions of it, and we've just got an updated version of it. And so it's not really their technology we're using other technology. Because look at it, Alan. We are talking to each other. You are thousands of miles away from me, and there is no time delay.
No.
Not at all.
You know, she was even showing in the hieroglyphs that they had computers, laptops, cell phones back then. And even motor cars. It's
hard to accept that, isn't it, in your mind, because we've not been taught that. Like, that's not in our memory bank. So you've got to fight yourself like, no, they were a lot more advanced then.
Well, it says in Scripture, nothing new under the sun. What has been will be again. What has been is and will be again.
I think it's really strange that we're in some kind of simulation, to be honest. The whole thing is just freaky deaky as far as what are we? I actually told you yesterday that you know, because we were seriously mined in the 17 and 1800s, and it stopped by the 1900s, and we are now the children and the children of all the workers. They probably don't know what to do with us, because we're just the children of the workers they got in to do all the tunnels, buildings, and everything.
Yep. Building them smart cities, those computers cities made out of those towers. It's a motherboard, computer board, just like the pyramids were.
And it's like we're running around. It's like we're in the film Tron now. We're in Tron. Simulation, Truman Family.
And we did all the work for them to kill us.
Truman Family. What's the other one? Arnie when he goes to Mars. Total Recall. And then the one that says the computer. You know, like Dave, I'm shutting down. Space Odyssey. It just goes on. Like it's like any film you can think of. Put them all together, and we're in that.
Yep.
Because each one of those films carries, like, you know, it's just that we're being told, really. We're sort of being told, aren't we?
Yep. I'm thinking maybe they already got control of our souls.
Well, maybe that's what the frequency is about.
Because I know it says, just as it was with the days of Noah, so will it be in the end times. You know, that's changing DNA.
Yeah, because it's not maybe something we're going to notice right now. I mean, we've had thalidomide children. Everybody seems to forget that. It's not just autistic and Asperger's. We had a whole set of thalidomide children because of the drugs that were given.
Yep. And our grandchildren aren't going to be able to produce any more babies, and there won't be no humans left.
But you know what? They could have killed us all off. They can do it like, I'm pretty sure they're spraying us in the sky. These are where we're getting all the bugs from. It's because they keep spraying. And then because I watched this guy, he showed how they'd had a contamination. And what they'd done was, say, in the Vietnam, they sprayed everybody with mustard gas, but there was a biohazard which was just as deadly, and then they were mixing it with stuff and spraying it on roads. So like people that couldn't afford to have roads in their town, they would spray the roads to keep the dust down in the summer, and in it was all these contaminants, and they were going to the doctors with flu-like symptoms all the time, when actually it was because they were being sprayed it. So I'm pretty sure they spray us.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the air can take care of things. So sometimes it depends. Sometimes it'll work and sometimes it won't. But this is how they can say, oh, this is coming and that's coming. Yeah, because they're going to spray it on us.
Yeah. I'm gonna take all this right to the court, and I'm gonna tell the judge all this.
Are you?
Yeah.
I mean, if they really, really listened, they'll see that so many people are unhappy and don't. And they're questioning.
She's going to look at me like, wow, where's this guy coming from?
Yeah, she's sort of showing bits now from what's happening now. But, yeah, she thinks it's the Anunnaki. They're the Anunnaki that are running us.
And what are the Anunnaki? I don't believe that they're from some planet out in space.
I don't think they're the elongated-headed people, because anybody that gets involved with them, they're not very tall. They're very short. They're only about 5 foot. So it can't be them.
Well, I've seen where some of them are tall. You look at some of Nathan Rothschild. He's got that elongated head in the back. And he's a tall Rothschild, over 6 foot.
But I do find it quite alarming that if you look at the UN map, it's got the Union Jack with the stripes on it, and actually that's the star map, which, yeah, they're using the star map. And England's right in the middle. And then I found this video by Dallas Goldberg, which is restricted at the moment and on review, and basically he's saying, you know, like say, so Richard Branson is David Icke, so it's Sir David Icke, and where is his allegiance to the Queen? And he kept going on about the Queen, because the Queen runs everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's true, that is.
She's supposed to be dead now.
Well, she's not supposed to be anything, but I just think she died a while ago, because we haven't seen a real Queen in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually believe in somewhere that Philip was more than they said he was. And like, even when he was buried, they were saying that there was all these little signs, you know, like a Land Rover because he was into the country, and then there was a horse and cart there because he was into that buggy riding with carts. So there was that there, and you know, like they did all that for his funeral. I'm telling you, he was a king or something. But I don't understand why they couldn't tell us, because you know, you become a consort king or queen, so that means you've got no right to the throne except who you're married to. So why didn't they make Philip a consort king to the public? Oh, right, sorry, she's just showing, by the way, that we were all one big landmass, and America and Africa are all together, right. And then with everything that they're doing, they've made sure that the land is split up, and we've all parted, but we were all connected once. That's what she's saying right now, just on that bit there.
Yep.
Just so you know, I watched it. But, I mean, did the land split up? I mean, it split up a long time ago then, because the well, anyway, I don't know if that's quite true, but that's what she's saying. A lot of people might think the same thing. We'll probably put a minute or so of her talking in here, just so that you can hear what she's talking about. That might be a good thing to add, just a little bit of her.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, crazy world we live in, Alan. Crazy. I saw the other day that Enslaved by No Media, which I could put his little video in. I could put that in. I'm going to do that 1 second. I'm going to put it in now.
Hello, Dave here from Enslaved by No Media. Just wanted to point out something very strange today. So yesterday, I received a snowstorm that ended around noontime. Got about 14 to 16 inches of snow. And then cold air set in the afternoon, and last night it got down to about 12 degrees. Today, I'm at the high temperature right now. It's 28 degrees. And look, I'm down to just a couple inches of snow left. It all melted in freezing temperatures. The sun is definitely different compared to the way it used to be. 12 inches of snow melting in under 30 degrees in 8 hours? Come on.
So what he's saying is that he had this snow. He had snow, and he's saying that we're in like the winter, but most of the snow has melted. And he said the sun, it's a different sun. That's what he's saying in the video. It's a different sun. Do you want me to play it to you, Alan? Hang on a second. Welcome to Alan. Yeah, so what do you make of that then, Alan?
That's kind of off the wall.
But you know what? Quite often I'm sitting there, I'm looking at the computer, and it might say 1 or 2 degrees. And then I go to work, and or whatever, or go whatever I've got to do, eat or whatever, come back a couple of hours later, and I look at the computer and it says 7 degrees. So the temperature's gone up at night. So I don't, you know, like everybody says, oh, we need the sun. I don't think we do. Because it's hotter at night time than it is in the day. And how can that be, Alan? We're supposed to be winter here, and we haven't really had a winter. This isn't, you know, like, okay, it's 0-1 right now. That's the coldest it's been. But we're the 18th of January, and we haven't really had a winter. I think that's crazy. I mean, in a way, I'm glad, because I don't like it that cold. I don't like the dark nights, and I don't like it cold. But,
No.
Because it's so many months of the year. Oh yeah, that's the other thing she said they were looking for. The slaves was gold. Do you remember she said that in her video?
Uh-huh.
They were looking for a certain kind of gold. Christian goes on about that. But you think, well, where are they taking it? For what? You know, anyway. It's a bit strange that, isn't it, with the gold?
Well, I think they're using the gold for technology.
Right, but gold, you know what? You can make gold last longer. I showed a video of it where, you know, if you put a bit of gold out, it could last for 5 miles. You can make it stretch.
A gold rock?
Well, I suppose when you've liquidized it, you can make it stretch longer, and it can, you know, this amount of gold can last for 5 miles then. So that's, maybe that's why, because gold stretches. Don't know. What do you reckon?
What makes gold?
Humans.
Humans?
Trying to light a cigarette, not doing very well here. All my lighters have now run out now. We're on a hangout. And this one just got jammed. Yeah, gold again. And I sort of, I don't push gold away, but I don't know, I think no, it's not that. But a lot of people talk about gold.
What do you know about white powder gold?
Not a lot.
They found some in the Egyptians' tombs. I think they were consuming it.
Right.
I think it's called atomic gold or something.
Yeah, that's what she said they were looking for here. I'm sure that's what she says.
I think they were using it for alchemy.
Right.
I got a light for you.
I've got one now.
Here,
Sorry about that. Click, 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 click. But anyway, yeah, she's talking about it now. What does she say? Yeah, she's just showing you a bit of article and she's reading it. But they were specifically looking for gold. And also, you know, the tubes which, you know, like the trees and all that make gold in the end. I find that really weird. I really like the guy on trees. I put his video out a couple of weeks ago. And he's saying when you look at all those things there, that's just tree stumps lying down and now they've petrified into rocks. But in there, once it's petrified, is gold. But how much gold do they need, Alan? What are they surviving on gold?
Also, there's rubies inside those petrified logs. Rubies, different kinds of stones.
Yeah, like in Australia, I know they get certain kind of, I think it's opals that we don't get. You can only get them in Australia.
Well, in America, too, there's a petrified forest that show that these precious rubies and stuff are inside these petrified logs. And where do they say they find gold? In veins, right?
Yeah, he was showing us how this tree had obviously fallen over, turned into rock, and the guy found the vein in the water. He found it in the water up this creek. The guy on trees.
What I'm thinking, where they're talking, where, you know, they're mining, looking for gold, and they say the gold is in the veins. And what are veins? That's what is inside of us, right? And in humans and animals.
But there's loads of veins on the land when you look down. If you look on Google Maps and you look down, all the mountains, they're all veins. It's almost like we're living in somebody or something, or we're living on a tree.
Right.
I don't know.
Or we're living in some kind of a gigantic organism.
Yeah, well, you don't want it to die then, do we?
No.
But that sounds crazy, Alan. That just sounds crazy. What, we're a blip. We're a blip inside someone else.
But why would they want to be killing that?
We don't know whether they are or not, but they like to keep us in fear. So that's what they're going to do. It'll always be on to another story which they've, you know, I'd love them to make a mistake, to be honest, so that everybody could see it.
Right.
But they've always got the next story, the next story. I mean, at the moment, Gillian and Amy don't have much food on the shelves. But at the moment, we don't seem to be going through that. But we're not told Australia hasn't got much food. It's the people telling us.
Uh-huh. Right.
Is it like that for you?
I'm not sure.
Well, I went to the supermarket today. It was full.
Uh-huh.
But other people are struggling with food.
Right. I hear that too in certain places.
But they love to keep us in fear, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, I actually think now this stuff's happened with Boris that my family should apologise to me for putting me through all that to people who are lying all the time. And even the Labour person, he got caught having a drink. What it was is that about the time of the lockdown, he's had a meeting and then they've stopped and had a curry and a few beers. But that's still a gathering, isn't it? That's still a gathering of people when we're supposed to be in a lockdown. So at the end of the meeting, why did they stop and have a takeaway? He should have gone home and had his takeaway. That's a lockdown. So these people don't live by the rules they make for us.
No.
So the Labour leader's saying, oh, and it's not like having a bar, you know, like Boris had an afternoon tea party sort of thing. So it was all planned and that. So, but it's almost as bad because he should have known better and said, right, we finished our meeting now, I'm going home. Not stop and say, hey, let's get a takeaway and a couple of beers. And then they're all, you know, socialising after they've worked while all of us are locked down and not allowed to see our families. So in my mind, he's just as bad as Boris.
Yeah.
Because he should have known better. You know, he's waiting to be, you know, he's new Labour leader and he's waiting, you know, obviously he'll want to be Prime Minister. What, you're waiting for him? He's already lied to you.
Yeah.
I just think this is crazy. But anyway, I mean, you can kind of read what she's looking at there. I'm not sure. Because, you see, a lot of people think what they're watching on the TV is lizards. But they're not. They're just looking at computer programs that have been manipulated, you know, like tweaked and whatever. And then the abnormality, and they like putting slits. They want us to have the feeling that there are aliens. They do.
Right.
And they put it in the politicians, they put it in the videos, the slit eyes. But the one thing that made me laugh was when my son said, you've got to have the test, and I didn't go because I've got this far without a test. But basically, I put this video up of Boris. All I did was slow it down. I didn't say anything on it, I don't think. I can't remember whether I did or didn't. But when I actually uploaded it, YouTube said it was a reptilian. So they were telling you it wasn't real, but it was the footage from the media. So for them, they get paid and it's all wonderful. For me, oh, it's reptilian. So, but what they've actually told you is it wasn't real.
Yep.
It had Boris on it.
Keep you confused in the mind.
It's crazy, Alan. It's absolutely crazy. I don't get them at all, really. I'm just hoping that they're imploding. That's what I'm hoping. Anyway, it was nice seeing a young woman talking about all this stuff, because obviously she's on the screen and we're talking, but I found a lot of what she said very interesting with the frequencies.
Right.
I suppose we are frequencies anyway, aren't we? You know, it's a lot for people to understand that we have an electrical pulse in our heart and our brains, and we are frequencies. It's all frequencies with our words. Everything's about frequencies.
I thought that we are a computer with a battery.
Great. It is strange how you can store all this stuff, they say, in your brain, but they can't prove it.
Right.
And then you think, oh no, this is the Matrix now, where we're here, but we're really connected to somewhere else, but we can't go back there. You know, like in the film The Matrix, he's there for an hour or two and then goes back. We're here for years and then we go back.
Yeah.
Or go on, or whatever it is, or on to another dimension.
I gotta watch that movie again.
What, The Woman?
No, The Matrix.
I know, but it's crazy. And Tron, don't forget Tron. You need to watch Tron. And you need to watch Arnie Schwarzenegger, because that bit, when there's just so much of that film that's going on now. It's like, now. Except we're not on Mars, are we? We're on Earth, supposedly. Whatever that is. A motherboard. I'd really like to know. I've just got this feeling that in the 70s, we'll call it the 1700s, it might have been even the 1600s, this is these Tartarians or these other people that were a lot more advanced. Then comes the poor Victorians, because they had to kill it all off and do things, and then they finish it off in the early 1900s with the wars and everything. That's when it completely stopped. But
That's when they
Tartaria was there in the 1900s.
I think that's when they hid all the technology.
Yeah, because Josh Stone's put a video out on his channel basically saying that pyramids are only about 100 years old.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, God. Anyway, I actually think they were wood. But, you know, with the tree guy, he was saying that these trees are turned to sandstone. And then limestone is burnt sandstone. So the pyramids are wood, even if it's petrified. That stuff came from a tree.
Right.
But if they were wet when they put them up there, and you can kind of mould wood a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's petrified into limestone. But you can tell that the pyramids have been burnt as well. You know, she's doing a bit more of the blood now. So people just have to watch the screen, and hopefully they can more or less get a bit of information from what she's showing. Oh, I'd love to just show that. I'd just love to show the whole video. It's only an opinion, but we probably put her video out. It'll probably be taken off.
You know, the pyramid, the Giza pyramid, the big one, is a copy of what's in your brain, your pineal gland.
Which is like a pyramid stuff in there, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah, the Ark of the Covenant is in there.
Are you laughing? Oh no, you're coughing. I thought you were laughing. He's coughing. Are you all right there? Anyway,
yep.
Shall we, we've done half an hour of her. I just find her very interesting. I just say her Facebook is Hearing Crystal Clear. And this was done on the 2nd of January. Obviously, Alan sent it to me. And she just got this big, that's what she sees in her connections.
You know, blood is gold.
It does smell so tainted. If you cut yourself, smell it. You think, ooh, it's got such a smell to it. And she's still going on about what she's feeling, like she's uncovering and stuff. But, yeah, should we go on to the next bit, Alan?
Okay.
Yeah, so anyway, I really like listening to her. 1 second, we're going on to the next bit. And this is the other person that you've got quite interested in. You've sent me a lot of her videos. So just explain to people what's interested you about her and the water.
What interests me about her and what she has to say is what's being done to us without our knowledge. And she gets into the water and talks about the chemtrails. She talks about the transhumanism. She talks about all kinds of things that being done to us.
Oh, there it is. Water is renewable. Obey or go to the CDC, FEMA, green, whatever else she says. Now, you sent me that one. It doesn't look like I've watched it, but I have. Sometimes it does that. I must have gone back to another bit. But oh yeah, and you sent me Forced into Green Zones, Prisons for All.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
And this one says Weather Warfare in Plain Sight.
Yeah. Weather manipulators, controllers.
But yeah, I just told you, I think they spray it on us. Or maybe the towers and the spraying makes the frequency. It's good to see other people looking into other stuff, because if you just watch the television, you're going to go insane. I mean, imagine all those people that followed Boris, and now they're wanting his resignation, and he stood on that podium every day telling everybody what to do, day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out.
Yep.
While he's actually having parties and breaking all the rules and thinks that no one's going to notice. And when the others are caught doing it, they have to lie. And what it was is, on a radio show for the Labour leader, he was asked to apologise. Are you going to apologise? He said no. You think, oh, well, you wouldn't want him either, would you?
No.
But if he apologises, then it stops it going towards Boris. And it's all a game anyway. The whole thing's a game. But it's like they're trying to get rid of the politicians, are they?
Yeah, it's kind of strange what's going on with that.
You know, there's not many people. Look, there's no one to go to anymore. You know, like when you believe in the system, you think, oh, I've got ombudsmen, so I can write to that person or whatever it is. You think you've got, but there's no one to write to. You can't write to Boris.
No.
He's part of the game.
Yeah, they create all these individuals, and then they turn it back on them because they're not real anyway.
Or they're about 5 people put together, because, you know, I put a video out the other day with Glissy Maxwell looking just like Helen Mirren. You know, for that picture, she was Helen Mirren. You're like, are they insane? Like, who makes all this up to put on us? It's like, we're noticing it all now. Oh, and do you know the other thing, as we're here? I might just stop this for a moment. Anyway, Alan would like people maybe to go and look at some stuff on her channel, because he finds her very interesting. And we're going to just, 1 second, we're going to go somewhere else. We'll come back to her in a minute. Also, this thing that's happened to us, you know, with Boris and that, it happened in the Austrian government too. And Beata was telling me that they just embarrassed the whole lot that did it, who were drinking and doing things when they were supposed to be in lockdowns. So that's crazy that, you know, where do we hear that on our news, that it's all happened in Austria as well? It's like they rerun it through all the countries. It'll happen to you soon. You'll probably find some of your politicians are doing the same. So that's crazy in itself. But Beata told me, and she lives in Austria. So the same things happen there. Anyway, on to the next bit, because we're going, there you go. CNN ratings crash in October without any regular programme averaging 1 million viewers. So basically, it's like 80% of their viewing has gone. Don't you find that crazy right now? Like, what, they just want to get rid of CNN, do they?
Yep.
Amy was telling me that they all lie, but this one lies the most. And people have had enough. And that's why they're not watching them. But it's probably bigger than that, isn't it? Because it looks like if this carries on, there won't be a CNN in a few months' time. Don't you find that crazy?
Yep.
Stop that a minute, because I what's going to happen then? Because they'll only be able to go on for a few months with their viewing, 90% of their viewing gone.
Right.
So why is that happening? I mean, we don't like any of them, but it needs to happen to all of them. And then why are they telling us? Because if they're telling us, it's for another reason.
Right.
Because it's always like that, isn't it? But there's quite a few. Yeah. I mean, this was actually out in December of 2021. Really.
Well, I seen a video here last week that there's a chess game going on between good and evil, and both of them see that the game is going to be over within 7 moves, and the bad guy is going to be in checkmate. And we're just playing out those 7 last moves now.
Well, Christian always feels that somebody else is now in charge, and we just don't know who they are. But I don't know, because the Queen runs everything and owns everything. So
they're just changing characters. the same ones are in control, but they're gonna like make it seem like there's new ones.
Yeah, we still need a new system. We still need rid of all of them.
Right.
We
Yep.
don't want any of them. But we can't just sort of like say for instance. Oh, hang on. As much as I can't wait for them all to go, if they all went today, you know, they're the ones running our internet, our heating, buying our food. So we need something else in place. But I just find it quite crazy to think that they're all reporting that CNN has plummeted by 90% in here. Woohoo!
I'm just wondering if somebody has to be in control of the weather and everything, because if there isn't, it wouldn't be able to maintain itself. Somebody has to be playing God.
Yeah, the UN. And now they want trillions of dollars to do these projects of housing, and it's going to be done in a very military sort of fashion. And you're watching it and you think, oh my God, what are they talking about? And we already know that so much is abandoned. You know, we've got millions of places here, but America, there's whole towns abandoned. There's just so much abandoned, and they're talking about putting trillions in. I mean, as I say, when Trump said, let's make America great again, now I realise he was telling the truth. Let's make it great again.
Right.
And then I just see that they've tried to wipe out this Mexican-Spanish rule, but haven't told us. And, oh, it's the English that ran us, but we didn't. It was the Mexican-Spanish. So before the, you know, Mad George went over there and got the constitution for the Queen, or this country. So that's all bizarre. And it's like, it's all just bizarre, Alan. I think they're insane, to be honest.
Totally.
There's no beginning and no end, and it's all crazy. I just don't understand what they're telling you, basically. You know, if CNN carry on like this, there won't be a CNN news station. And yeah, everybody can say they're the worst, but you know they do things on purpose. So this is planned, whatever it is. Oh, what? So the baddies are going now. Oh, what? And everybody else is the goodies.
Yep. And then they're probably the evilest ones of all. That they think it's the good ones now.
Oh, no. They're all the same. See, that's the thing, is they don't care when they're going to do something. Because, you know, like right now, they're trying to humiliate Boris, aren't they, really? Oh, he's going to resign. You know, there's no way out now. But it's all planned. But when he goes, they'll say Boris did that. So they won't take responsibility for what Boris did. And every day he stood up telling us what to do on those platforms.
This is all planned out years in advance.
Yeah.
They already know what's going to happen in 7-10 years.
But that was it. Dallas Goldberg. He said, you know, he says in the past we've been looking at things, you know, like JFK or whatever it is, even 9/11. We're dealing with it after the event, whereas we're actually in this event. And I think that's the bit that freaky deakies you, because you're like, whoa, I don't know. I'm not afraid of my feelings. I just think, oh no, you know, especially like when they did the fuel thing. Oh, that's just frightening the people all over again.
I think it's all been done before, and we're just playing it out again.
What, we'll just give them 5 or 10 years. I'll never remember, because we already saw this. We watched, Gillian found it, and there was these people talking to this guy who'd written a book. And in the 70s, there was another QAnon, and they were called the White Doves. And then what that happened to be was this woman wanted to earn some money, and she was doing it all from like the back of her van in like a small property in the middle of nowhere, or out of her van or something. And she was just doing it because she wanted the money. And you're like, cool, I didn't know about that. But you've already had QAnon. It was just slightly different, and now we've got it again. I mean, some people, like, I've kind of fallen out with people who believe in QAnon because it's rubbish. Once you know it's their system, it's all rubbish. If it's in it, And it's sad because how do we ever? Well, the truth, I suppose, like that's why I like the people looking around all the properties. Yeah, I have taken minutes of their videos, and I hope they don't mind. But those are the real reporters, because nobody's putting all that. Like half of America is abandoned. It's strange that we don't see it. Well, I think some people do see it because like Detroit, isn't it? That one's 3/4 of Detroit is rotting away. But like, just. What are we living in? We're not living in anything nice, are we, if it's all abandoned?
Right.
Anyway, we're going to go back to that woman now. Now we've done enough of quite a bit of CNN. Hang on. Here we go. So, we're back to Stop the Crime. Is there anything you'd like to add? Because obviously you like some of the stuff that she's talking about.
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment. You've been sending me links on this.
I know, but my mind's at a blink right now.
Sorry, is it because I changed the subject?
No, thoughts will come.
So who is she exactly then, for people who don't know who she is? Oh, he's gone. He's left the hangout.
What's that?
I thought you'd gone. I said, who is she? For people who don't know, have never heard of her before.
Deborah Tavares.
Oh, we just need some help, don't we?
Yeah.
I don't know where it's coming from. It's not that we need NASA, but we need an organisation, or sort of the size of NASA, to help us. But I just don't think we're ever going to believe them again. We might never believe anybody again after this.
$20.
What are you doing, Alan?
What am I doing?
1 second, we'll just stop the video for a sec. So I've put this video up. This is Water is Renewable, Obey or Go to CDC FEMA Green Zones. So what interested you in this one then?
Well, just her knowledge on everything,
It's really weird though, isn't it? If you believe in the system, you don't see any of this. You will not think any of these things. And then when you start waking up, all you see is the wrong things. And then it always leads on to something else and something else and something else. But I mean, we are lucky with water. I thought about that. I mean, some seawater goes through rocks and is cleansed and becomes fresh water. That happens. But we always have an abundance of water, don't we? And we already know that there's water in the ground, like below us. Rivers and streams and stuff like that. Obviously, they tap into them. And we do get rain. But we always get this abundance of water. I actually think it's amazing when you think about it. Paul Cook did it. And even if he's not quite right, maybe...
1:30 today.
Sorry. Even if he's not quite right, what he says is, when you look at it, mountains have water that is coming out of the top into waterfalls. So the water has to go up the mountain and then come down as a waterfall. How does that happen? He's saying nothing is natural. It's all been man-made. You're like, God, really? But even if that bit's wrong and it's natural, the water is still going up the mountain and coming out as a waterfall. I mean, we just don't think these things, do we? The water's coming over the top of the mountain. That means the water's got to go up. I mean, some mountains go onto other mountains and some of the waterways all connect up, but some don't. But they still are at the top of the mountain. So, I mean, that's quite crazy in itself, don't you think, Alan? When you think about it.
Yep.
How does the water get up there? Is it man-made, like Paul Cook says, or is it a natural thing? And even that's amazing, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah. It makes you wonder, are they orchestrating everything? Playing God?
But if we're in a simulation, that would happen, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah. And who's in control of that? There's so many questions that can't be answered. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's what happens when you go down the rabbit hole. You always find really good information, but at the end of it you think, oh, but now I need to go and look that up, and I need to go and look that up. Oh, when you get that, oh, I need to look that up now. And by the time you finish, you're looking at something totally different than you were when you started. It's a bit bizarre.
And you got so many windows open now. One thing opens up a window, and now you got a whole bunch of windows open that you gotta. It's like the more you learn, the less you know.
Yeah. Because it's even more frustrating because you think, I've got another piece of puzzle. Oh, yeah, but I've forgotten the puzzle's 1,000 pieces and we've only got like 100 pieces or 150 pieces. We need and you just can't gather it because, you know, Google and people like that, they wipe the platform clean. So you can't, you know, like originally, YouTube, that's how I got to understand that 9/11 was what it was because it said on YouTube, hoax, 9/11. And I thought, what? And I went there and it was video after video after video showing you that things weren't right. And now they've taken all that off. And in fact, when you get to you have to go to about 5 pages before you find a building going down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the only thing you could see. And they were throwing it in our face that that's what it was. And now it's like our history's been changed. And they're able to do this. So it's harder to find these things. And, you know, you very often have to experience something, don't you?
Yeah.
If you don't.
And every time you find a puzzle, every time you find a piece to the puzzle, it just makes the puzzle even bigger. And you got to find more pieces now.
Yeah, because my one was like, I came across James. He lived in New Zealand. And what it was is that he was talking about how they changed the words, but it's how they educated us. So, but basically, when someone's giving you wisdom, they feel that they're giving you wisdom, but they're not. They're just giving you their anxiety. So it depends how that person has grown up, what their thoughts are. And then there are 8 laws of anxiety, of course, and they make money out of that. I mean, he thought that he had everything because he'd worked that out, but he was just a piece of the puzzle. But I loved what he said. And every now and again, I put one of his videos out. I mean, you know, he's not maybe the biggest watched videos, but what he's saying is the truth. But he's part of that puzzle.
I think all of us are a piece to the puzzle, and if we all come together, we'll get the whole puzzle put together.
Yeah, but we're all in different countries. That's the annoying thing, and you know, we've been truthers, and like you were saying, how long had we known each other today?
They separated us. They separated us. They gave us different languages.
But even today, listen, you know that if you try to talk to some people, more than likely it'll be their ego that takes over, and you're not really solving any of the problems. You've got other problems now. There's not even that many nice people.
No. Because they don't know how to be humble.
I mean, I always took it myself with YouTube, you know, like some people might think, oh, I'm their star, but I'm here today and gone tomorrow, so you've got to enjoy it the best way you can while you're here. Because say my channel went down tomorrow, I'll be forgotten.
Yep.
You know, that was what happens with film stars, everything, you know, you just gotta, but they're keeping you on the run, aren't they? On the run, you're always on, like, you're like, they're always the carrot in front of you and you can never get to the carrot.
Well, keep you on the move.
Yeah. Anyway, I've really enjoyed chatting. I think we've covered quite a few things here. So it's 2 people to go to that if you want to look at a bit more. Obviously what they're talking about was very interesting. And we haven't watched or seen Deborah here, but we've showed her channel. Alan thinks she's great, don't you, Alan?
Yeah.
And you can have the last thoughts, Alan.
I can have the last thoughts?
Yeah, talk, but the last thoughts. Alan!
You got me at a...
Well, Alan likes to, Alan's always looking, aren't you, Alan? You're always like, you
Listening.
come across things and they very, like for instance, this Deborah woman's really interested you.
I'm always
Stop
listening,
the
but when
crime.
I see you, I'm looking. Looking to see what the questions that you ask.
But there's never an ending, Alan.
No.
I just, someone said, put a comment in the other day, said, when you believed in the globe, wasn't it a lot easier? But then we didn't think, did we? And now, like, it's almost like it's like we have to be a computer to get it all.
Yeah, since you said that, the lie is easy and the truth is hard.
Yeah.
The lies come easy and the truth comes hard.
Well, thank you so much for bringing our attention to these two ladies, and we'll talk again soon, won't we, Alan? Because I always get Alan on a hangout every few months, don't I, Alan?
Yeah.
Okay then. So thank you for giving us this information, and I hope everybody enjoyed the hangout with us. Okay, Alan? Alan?
Yep.
Okay?
Okay.
All right, that's it from us.
Thank you for the hangout.
That's okay, my darling. Anyway, from me and Alan, thanks very much.
Thank you.